Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dorothy, professional astrologer. My voice just broke there. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to talk about the astrology for July 7 and July 8. And it mainly involves the moon today. And I wanted to focus on it because it is our daily routine and the daily activities that we do. So today I'm going to focus on the moon for Thursday and Friday, July 7 and July 8. So let's get started. And if you're brand new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you found us. Please hit that subscribe and notification buttons because those really do help YouTube know what you want. There's always I roll my eyes because I'm being sarcastic. YouTube has its own agenda. Astro Dice. We're going to use Astro Dice after we do the astrology, and then we're going to pick a card. Let's get started. I'm going to share my screen because I like to teach when I give these forecasts. Hopefully not too much, but I'm going to try and keep this really simple for us, but I'm still teaching as well. So it's a nice lesson. So I wanted to focus on the moon in Libra. And this is a noontime chart for my latitude and longitude. So it's Eastern Daylight Time. So you do have to adjust for your own time zone. All right. That is your job. My job, I'm going to tell you what it's about, give you the times for Eastern Daylight Time, and you have to figure out when that is for you. I can't do that for you. There's a lot of time zones in the world, from Australia to the West Coast of the United States and even more. All right. Moon is in Libra. Early in the morning, this moon was making a trine aspect to Venus. So this was like in the middle of the night for some of us, or before you go to bed, if you're way over on the east, on the West Coast. I like the moon in Libra when it connects with Venus in Gemini. It's about communication. It's easy. It's fun. It's carefree. It's like what you need to say just rolls right off the tongue. It's important for us to be able to communicate how we feel right now. Very important. If you didn't watch yesterday's forecast, go ahead. I'll link it at the end here. Because I did talk about Mercury in the sign of Cancer as well. And the importance of that is that Mercury rules Gemini, so that means it is all about communication. When it's in the moon sign, which is Cancer, we need to pay attention to what's going on for the moon for the next 2 weeks. Really important to pay attention because the aspects the moon makes are by default, because this Mercury is in the sign the moon is in charge of, we're going to be needing to express our emotions. So over the next 2 weeks, whether you're overly emotional or super sensitive, so very, very important that you speak up and you communicate what it is you need to communicate. With the moon right now in that sign of Libra, it is about partnerships. It's about having balance, harmony, especially in the family. Are you doing too much? Not enough? Are you getting help? Are you not getting help? Those types of things. So it's important that we speak up for that, for ourselves. Mercury is just a little bit out of bounds. It's not going to go out of bounds very far, but just a little bit right now. So we're hypersensitive. And again, we do need to speak up and speak out when we feel like it's necessary. And I recommend that we do that, especially late Wednesday night, East Coast time, or early Thursday morning, because this aspect peaks at like 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Later on in the day here, let me get my ephemeris. Let me get my ephemeris out. Yes, that's at 1:54 a.m. when the moon makes a trine to Venus in Gemini. It also, the next aspect is a trine aspect at 3 in the afternoon. A little after 3 in the afternoon is when it will make a trine aspect. Where is it? There it is, to Saturn. The moon in Libra, that's air, just like Venus in Gemini is air, but the moon trine Saturn. That's what a trine aspect looks like. It's 120 degrees. This one's 122 right now. When we get to 3 in the afternoon, 3:15, 3:20, there'll be an exact aspect that is very logical, very practical, and grounding. The lunar aspects, as long as it's not an eclipse, the lunar aspects last just a few hours. And so they can come and go without any awareness whatsoever. But I'm telling you about it, so you might need to be aware. And then by the time we get to 5 in the afternoon, Eastern Daylight Time, the moon is quincunx Neptune. That one could slip right by because we're being unclear. So that's Thursday, late afternoon. By 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight, the moon will square Pluto. And that's the last aspect the moon will make in the sign of Libra. And then it moves into Scorpio. So it's void, of course, until it moves into Scorpio. That's the next day. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So the moon in Libra squaring Pluto, this tells me if you have not spoken up or written down, let out into the universe your words of what is emotional for you, what you need to do, what you need to say. And again, even if you can't say it to a person, you can still put it out there in your way, singing, poetry, meditation, chanting, or actually having a conversation with somebody face to face. Any of those things are right on track with these aspects. The moon trine Pluto, trine Venus, Mercury in Cancer, the moon trine Saturn, quincunx Neptune, square Pluto. You're able to communicate these things and get them out. Really important right now. At the same time, over here at the declination, we can see that the sun and Pluto are opposite on each, or they're together, but they're on the opposite sides of this declination line. So this is called contraparallel. While they are not connected by the zodiac, they are connected over here. Venus is involved. So this also tells me the way these guys are all within 1 degree of each other, that they are interacting. So that means it's important that we say what we need to say, do what we need to do, because that gives us our own power back. You know, taking your power back. I hear that so much, and sometimes it's just super cliche, but it helps us to feel more in control. And it can even help transmute or change something in the way you communicate or interacting with partners. All right. There's a lot going on with that. So I want you to try and work with that best you can. Don't force anything. If nothing's going on, don't force it, but definitely work with it. All right. So on Friday, let's see, the moon enters the sign of Scorpio. Eastern time is at 1:15 a.m. and that's on the 8th of July, 10:15 p.m. on the 7th of July, if you're on the West Coast of the United States. So since that's where I'm at, I have to focus on that for now, but that's that. So what we also have at 5 a.m. in the morning, and this is on Friday the 8th at 5 a.m. in the morning, the moon will be opposite Mars. Let me just animate this and get to 5 a.m. Here's July 8th. I'm gonna go back a couple hours. This is going to spin now. That's the Earth spinning. Watch it. Look at that. There's the Earth spinning. That's what it looks like through the astrology chart. Close enough. Nope, it's at 5:06 a.m. So here's 5 a.m. That's when 5:06 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time is when the moon in Scorpio is opposite Mars in Taurus. Fixed opposition. It creates a sense of awareness. The moon is super early. I mean, it's only at 2 degrees, so that's very early in the sign. So and we're going to deal with that throughout the weekend. You know, the moon's moving pretty quick. So all of Friday and all of Saturday, I'll talk about that in the next video, the Saturday, and I'll do the Saturday and the Sunday in a video next, not right now. So when the moon is opposite Mars, this can create an awareness around what it is that you love, what you need, what you value. This could trigger a financial something for you. Again, it depends on your chart, and we don't go there in this type of a forecast. But the moon at 2 degrees of Scorpio is, we're going to start looking at things and digging deep and doing research. And Scorpio rules finances that aren't yours. So, your partner's, your spouse's finances, but, kind of like when you pool your money, that kind of finance, or it's taxes, or it's loans, or it's credit card. And then while it's opposite Mars and Taurus rules money as well, and earning money. So there could be that there's an opportunity for some people to invest, or for some people to sell so they can get the money, whatever it is. We're all going to be feeling that in one way or another, where we may want to invest in something financially, or even maybe just energetically. And that's what Friday looks like. And yeah, it's not too much to talk about. That's why I'm putting the two together. But I know when the moon is in Scorpio, people tend to feel super deep, and emotions that are at the surface that you don't let out, they can come out, and this can do that. And this is, again, early in the morning on Friday, the 8th. All right, I'm going to stop my share for now. There's more astrology over in my Patreon. You're welcome to join us there. Great way to support. Astro Dice time. What do they want us to know? What's next? Jupiter in Pisces in the 6th house. Jupiter in Pisces is very spiritual. Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces, in the traditional ruler, not the modern ruler. Modern ruler is Neptune. Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces, because we didn't know Neptune was there until about 120 years ago, right? Or something like that. So Jupiter is loving that sign. It will enter that, it will go back into that sign later this year. Right now it's in Aries, retrogrades back into Pisces. So this is telling us more spirituality, more meditation, maybe get to the water. 6th house is things that we can do every day, right? It's our overall health. So Pisces rules the feet. So if you have feet issues, you're going to want to take care of that, or watch that, make sure you're okay. Aquarius is the ankles. I heard somebody just ask what that was. The feet is Pisces. So make sure you take care of those things if that's a thing for you. But for some of us too, this is about finding a routine to get to the water regularly, to meditate regularly, to do things that are spiritual, to be creative, to get out of the analytical mind. Jupiter and Pisces in the 6th house. That's how you use the dice. All right. What do the cards want us to know? Just maybe something earthy. I always like that, answering the call. Jupiter and Pisces in the 6th house too. This is called the answering the call, is the card I picked. In the 6th house, it is service to others, how I serve others, something that I can do every day. Is it my, in regards to my work, coworkers. So this could very well be, especially when answering the call comes up, that there's some of us out here that we're being asked or told, or just, one more, here's your sign to get that class together. I know it's summertime in the Northern Hemisphere, so we're not always driven in the summertime to accomplish as much as we do in other times of the year. But driven, answering the call, do more, find a way, finally step it up. I know a few people out there that have just forever prepping for classes, to teach, to put programs together. I am too. I have classes and programs I just delay on forever, but that's the way it goes. All right. I think I'll leave us with that. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.